National Rifle Association head Wayne LaPierre is calling for more armed security to prevent tragedies like the deadly school shooting in Florida. LaPierre's speech to conservatives at CPAC Thursday comes as young survivors of last week's shooting have renewed the debate over gun control. Many have called out the NRA and lawmakers backed by the organization. Vice President Mike Pence told conservatives here at CPAC that the Trump administration is working to strengthen background checks and regulate bump stocks, among other initiatives. Nisarg Joshi just joined the NRA today. He and others we spoke to insist more restrictive gun laws are not the answer. President Trump says he's a big believer in the NRA. He speaks at CPAC on Friday. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, Oxon Hill, Maryland. Time magazine summed up President Trump's first year in office with one drawing. His unconventional leadership has inspired a lot of other art, too. Matt Worker is the Pulitzer Prize-winning cartoonist for Politico. He has published drawings of every president since Jimmy Carter and says Trump is like no other. The art is prolific, provocative, and political. The people behind it range from protesters making signs to street artists and professionals in the United States and abroad. Lithuania and the West Bank are home to murals of the president kissing his Russian and Israeli counterparts. At the U.S.-Mexico border, a French artist installed a 30-foot portrait of a young boy peering over it, perhaps a response to Mr. Trump's call for a border wall. Pulitzer Prize recipient Signe Wilkinson draws for the Philadelphia Inquirer. She says keeping up with headlines about the president is exhausting. American University professor Scott Talon says art is a critical tool to capture history. In fact, Worker says the best cartoons contribute to the conversation in a constructive way, and it never hurts to add some color. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, Washington. Students from the Washington, D.C. area staged a lie-in outside the White House calling for stricter gun laws. Friends Whitney Bowen and Eleanor Nectarline organized the protest. Their demonstration joins a growing movement in the wake of the Parkland, Florida school shooting that killed 17 people. Students from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School say they want to be the face of change and are planning a march on Washington next month. The White House says President Trump will hold a listening session about school safety with unspecified students and teachers on Wednesday and meet with Florida security officials on Thursday. White House officials say the president supports a narrow bipartisan bill to improve the federal background check system. But some, like 83-year-old Republican donor Al Hoffman Jr., are turning up the heat on lawmakers. In recent years, several attempts to revive an expired ban or pass a new one stalled in Congress. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, the White House. As students fled the deadliest school attack in 5 years, the country counted its 18th school shooting this year. It sparked a conversation on CBS This Morning. Currently, the Department of Homeland Security gets involved if an incident has a known link to terrorism. School shootings usually fall under the jurisdiction of state and local authorities, and the FBI typically monitors threats. In this case, a Mississippi man alerted the Bureau about a YouTube comment from a user with the screen name matching the shooter's. It was this school shooting that left an impression on Alexander Clayton. His father led the Columbine crime scene investigation. Clayton now teaches the issue at American University. Clayton says if Americans want more federal resources dedicated to the prevention of school shootings, they'll need to put pressure on Congress and the White House to make it part of DHS's mission. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, Washington.